We are going to host a welcome party on Wednesday night before the conference really kicks off. Get a chance to meet some other attendees, maybe make some of those connections, and then roll that into the morning where we'll be heading over to the Plains Art Museum. We wanted to host it in a space that is a nonprofit. So that's something you'll see throughout the day is us really trying to lift up and highlight the nonprofits that exist in our community. We are bringing in the catered lunch from Heart and Soul Community Cafe. We are doing a Hope Blooms happy hour to wrap up the day. Where
happiest hour, right?
The happiest hour.
The happiest of hours.
The happiest hour. And then I have some fun ideas that I really hope to pull off. Some of them might involve magic coins. You never know. We'll see. You'll have to join us to find out.
Over the rainbow.
Hey, Storymakers, and welcome back to Tell All the Podcast, where we just finished an amazing first season with great speakers, great insights, a lot of laughter, and a heck of a good time. We're back with a special mini-series where we're going to introduce you to WellTold, the nonprofit storytelling conference. And with me in studio is Annie Wood, who is the executive producer of WellTold, the nonprofit storytelling conference. Hi, Annie.
Hi, Max. So good to see you today. Thanks for having me to come chat about something I am truly over the moon excited about.
Me too. This has been a dream in the making for a while. And so today's conversation is just going to be a quick, casual chat. We're hoping for just a few minutes. There might be a promo code at the end to get that special early bird pricing, even though by the time this comes out, early bird pricing will be done.
Just for you, listeners. We love you. We want to show it.
Just for our kind NPR listeners today. So let's dig into it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about this. Well, Max, this has been a dream you've had for a long time to host a nonprofit storytelling conference. Can you give us a little insight into where the idea has come from and how you really finally got to bring it to life?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go way, way, way back, all the way to the year 2020. We were in the throes of creating our nonprofit storytelling conference. And then we all know what happened in 2020. So
don't need to relive it, yeah.
the plans were finalized. It was going to happen in May of 2020. And then, the world shut down. And we just didn't really pick it back up again. And then it was probably about a year or so ago that we really decided that we love nonprofits. That's a space that we do really good work in. We have great case studies in it. And as an organization, Tell decided we love that space and we want to get back into it. So knowing that, we had a little bit more focus as an organization, and we were making all of these great contacts with folks from around the industry, including folks like DonorDoc, which DonorDoc is an incredible nonprofit CRM that is a great fundraising tool, and it was created right here in Fargo. And so we have loved seeing DonorDoc grow and thrive. So we joined heads. We
joined
forces.
Shook hands. I don't know. Pick a different body part, Max.
We put heads together and we were trying to figure out what is the thing that's needed? What's the thing that's wanted? What is maybe missing from the nonprofit ecosystem in Fargo? And we have so many incredible nonprofits, but we were what is missing? Just kind of a day for people to unplug, a day for people to say, I just want to learn and I just want to grow. And so between DonorDoc and Tellwell, we are so excited to present WellTold, the nonprofit storytelling conference. And the speaker lineup is incredible. I never dreamed that we would have so many incredible speakers, but even more so than that, it's going to be a wildly cool day. And we talked about this in your first podcast, but Annie loves to create weird experiences as well.
Do.
So Annie, can you just can you kind of talk through the day and some of the weird surprise delights that...
I can't give it all away.
Don't give it all away. Don't give it all away. Just give a little appetizer of what is the day going to look like?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really excited. We are going to host a welcome party on Wednesday night before the conference really kicks off. So that opportunity, because connection before content is something I really believe in, and we see the power of every single day, whether that's in a team meeting or whether that's with a a story maker as we're connecting and chatting. So we'll do that and have some fun at Wild Terra together the night before. Get a chance to meet some other attendees, maybe make some of those connections, and then roll that into the morning where we'll be heading over to the Plains Art Museum. That was a super intentional choice for us. We wanted to host it in a space that is a nonprofit. So that's something you'll see throughout the day is us really trying to lift up and highlight the nonprofits that exist in our community, that are doing great work, and that have services that we can use our purchasing power, frankly, with hosting a conference to invest in. So we're renting the space from the Plains Art Museum. We are bringing in the catered lunch from Heart and Soul Community Cafe. We are doing a Hope Blooms happy hour to wrap up the day. Where
happiest hour, right?
The happiest hour.
The happiest of hours.
The happiest hour. Where folks will get a chance to learn about Hope Bloom's mission and repurpose the floral that we're investing in for the conference as part of the decor, turn those into the bouquets that get delivered. And so you'll see a lot of infusion of nonprofits in our community throughout the entire conference. And then I have some fun ideas that I really hope to pull off that are a little on that like quirky weird side. And for me, weird is like good because weird is surprising and delightful and like gives people moments to talk about or to remember. So, some of them might involve magic coins. You never know. We'll see. You'll have to join us to find out.
There might be a really great opening band. We can't give away too much more than that, but you will definitely want to experience that.
Yeah. Because I want this to be a lot more than just a conference where you sit and get, right? That idea of like sitting, listening, absorbing, that's not what we're designing. We're designing a day where folks will get the chance to learn, to process, to really get a little more hands-on. I have this like dream that we probably can't quite execute this year, but like everyone gets a Lisa Frank style Trapper Keeper. Wouldn't that be hilarious if it was like truly a Trapper Keeper? We really are like working on like, here are the frameworks, here are the resources so that you don't just listen to a speaker and have to try and figure out what are the notes to take, what are the nuggets I should be taking away, but really that people are getting, here's the framework that so-and-so is talking through. Here's the highlights and here's like the questions or the prompts that will help you craft your story. Here's the things you should take back to your bigger team if you came as a solo person or if you came as a smaller group within a larger organization. So we really want to equip people not only with fun and weird and delightful things that will give them a really positive experience, but to have those moments of connection with attendees, with the speakers, and then make it really easy to take your learning back and implement it. Because my super nerd hat that I like to put on is that idea of what does adult education need to look like to make it really meaningful. And so my years spent in higher ed and thinking about education, we're trying to apply all of that learning to this as we design a day that, of course we'll have the standards like great coffee, an incredible lunch, fun beverages, probably more Diet Coke than anyone needs, but
way more Diet Coke.
I would be honestly surprised if we don't go through it all, So it's really fun to be thinking about ways to create an experience, not just a conference.
I think one of my favorite conversations that you really challenged me on right away when we started talking about this conference was the idea of getting as far away from like inspiration porn as we can. Mm-hmm. Because I really imagined this originally as like a TED style event where we have like these incredible keynotes that have 20 minutes each, and then we just kind of like cycle through them. And you really challenged me to say like, hey, let's wait for a moment. Let's say, how do we give people the opportunity to take as much away from it as we can? And so that meant slightly longer. Mm-hmm. That allows people to go just a little bit deeper, but then also provide any of those frameworks that they have. A lot of these folks are well-renowned authors and have tools that we can actually take some time and dig into a little bit, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, you've been doing an incredible job, and that's not just me like blowing smoke, at curating the folks that are coming to join us that will be on the stage really like sharing their knowledge, sharing their learning, and inviting the audience to think deeper. Can you tell me about a couple of them?
Yeah. So this whole series is actually going to be previews of all of those folks. I would say like a couple that I'm really, really excited about. One, I'm excited about all of them.
There's no favorite children here.
No favorite children.
Everyone's the favorite child.
Everyone's a favorite child. I would say a couple of them that I'm really excited about, just because I haven't necessarily seen them before. One, his name is John McCoy. He is from We Are For Good, which is an incredible community that works really closely with DonorDoc. And he has a couple of really, really great frameworks. There's another one. She is the chief program officer for StoryCorps.
So cool.
Lisa Nelson Haynes is the chief program officer for StoryCorps. And I love StoryCorps. Like, that is one, when they do like the member drives on NPR or NPR, Minnesota Public Radio News, or Prairie Public, they always talk about like the segments that make you like sit in your garage for a little bit longer because you don't want to turn it off. And for me, that is always StoryCorps, right? They have these like 5-minute story segments, and they do some incredible work. And so she's coming in from Philadelphia. One of my dear friends and a guest from this podcast, Janice Evans, is going to be joining us from Brain Noodling and Strategic Toolbox. Patrick Kirby from Do Good Better, who has the most energy, and he's going to be doing a really cool fundraising / storytelling therapy session during lunch. And so we're actually going to have some of our guests on the stage. People can ask their deepest, darkest questions, and we're just going to answer them live. And we're going to get as much good insight as we can from both our speakers as well as Patrick, and bring Patrick's energy to lunch to kind of like ramp us into the rest of the day. John Lepp is from a group called Agents for Good. They do some incredible work. They're based in Toronto, and he has spoken at the National Nonprofit Storytelling Conference, I think 3 or 4 times. And so we're so excited to have him. And we're on a first name basis with our good friends from DonorDoc. And so Bridget is going to be joining. Also, I love Bridget and I love Matt. And for the love of everything, I cannot figure out how to say their last name. I will figure it out someday, hopefully before the conference, honestly.
Good goal. Good goal.
And Bridget's going to be talking about stewardship and how you can use technology to create just better relationships, because it really is through relationships that we create great advocates and we create great funders of our nonprofit. So it's going to be an incredible day. I'll be sprinkled in there. Who knows? I might even take 10 minutes and chat about some things that I'm thinking about. But really, it is going to be an incredible day of like networking and inspiration, and more importantly than inspiration, action. So yeah, super, super excited about that part.
I know, I can't wait. I feel like I'm getting a preview of everything as we've been curating and having conversations with the speakers and thinking about how to host them really well in Fargo, which many of them haven't been to Fargo before. So it was very funny as I did their speaker survey. I asked, what else do you need to know to feel good? And 2 of them said, what's the weather going to be like in April? And I was like, hi,
question.
not sure. I can give you a really good idea, like a week out, but the adage of April showers bring May flowers could be true, or April snow is also possible, which isn't as much the saying. But so we're having a lot of fun thinking about how to host them really well in Fargo and show them our community that we love so dearly.
Speaking of community, can you talk about so WellTold is not just going to be the day of. We're really excited about the day of. We're really excited about the pre-party. We're excited about the day of with all the incredible speakers. But we really want to take this a step further. So Can you tell us a little bit more about the WellTold community?
I know that the power of a conference is convening and bringing people together. And the beauty of the world we live in is that there is an online way to keep that going, so we don't have to lose the energy after a day. Because I too know that accountability is the best tool for keeping people to take the action that we really hope they will. So we're doing an online community for our WellTold attendees, and going to be able to have resources in there, have them have ongoing conversations, get some feedback on the ways that they're implementing the tools, as well as continue with that support network for each other. We know that the peer-to-peer, hey, we're in the trenches together, we're in this, I get you, those types of communities are really special and important. And I found that so meaningful to me when I was working in higher ed, the opportunity to connect with people who got it, where you didn't have to spend 5 minutes explaining what it's like to work in higher ed. So really wanted to help make sure that those types of things are available. So as we're kind of building that community out, it's a hub for resources, it's opportunities for conversation, it's ways to get feedback, and then ways for us to continue to roll out some of that content to keep the speakers engaged as well. So I'm pumped about it, truly, because I think people have probably been part of an online community, and I'm like, you can't see my air quotes, but like the ones that are like, oh, we just invited you to a Slack channel. Now you're part of our community. And so really designing this very intentionally with plans for how do we keep people engaged? How do we allow people to engage to the level that makes sense for them, but not just having it be like a set it and forget it. It's still maybe a little slow cooker of a crock pot, but one that you're going to take the lid off and stir around every now and then. This is my Midwest analogy. How do you like it?
Crock pot analogies all day. One of my, I think something that I'm very excited about is within that community, we're actually going to be doing monthly office hours with the Tell Well team. And so we know that within this conference, we've priced it ridiculously low at $97, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, we've got a lot of early birds who took advantage of that.
Yes.
And our listeners will give you a little something.
We might give you an early bird discount as well. But because we've done that, we know that we're trying to also invite organizations that maybe couldn't afford like donor doc services or couldn't afford Tell Well services. And so we want to grow that capacity and grow those abilities as well. So you'll have those office hours with the Tell Well team and probably the donor doc team too. I think I'm sure they will get involved with it as well. And so that's going to be an incredible resource that's going to be a part of that WellTold community as well.
Yeah, it's really an opportunity for us to keep that learning going, because at the end of the day, our idea behind WellTold is to help people tell better stories, because we know that that's what's important. We care about people's missions. We care about the stories they can tell, because we know that stories are the best way to help people share their experiences so that folks feel invited into that story with the nonprofits, because it's not about the people working at the nonprofits necessarily. It's really about the service that they offer or the funders who are part of making that mission happen. So wanting to equip them with those tools rather than leave them out in the cold.
It won't be cold because it'll be April 24th. It'll be warm, just a light jacket. I don't remember what date that was.
That's April 25th. But
That's April 25th? Oh my gosh, we're so close.
We're so close.
I love that. Okay, so I promised that this was going to be short, sweet, to the point. Here's the thing. April 24th, 2025, in Fargo, North Dakota, but also virtually. So we will be hosting it virtually in that online community. And so jump onto welltoldconference.com. You can register through Eventbrite. And if you need to do a search for that, it's WellTold, the Nonprofit Storytelling Conference. And if you are listening to this after February 25th, use the code PODCAST, PODCAST, that's how you spell podcast, which is going to lower it back to the $97, because normally it would go up to $297, which every single penny that you would spend on that is worth it for these like incredible speakers, these incredible experiences, the awesome party that we're going to have the night before at Wild Terra. That's going to be a heck of a good time, as well as a really, really great swag bag. So I think we maybe talked about this in our first podcast, but I came from the promotional product space. And so it's really important to me to have like great swag, and we are going to have the best at WellTold. So
everyone loves a good sticker. We're going to encourage attendees to bring stickers from their organizations, do a sticker swap. We're going to have so much fun.
That. Yes, the sticker swap. We'll talk about that as we do another episode. But details, April 24th, 2025. Register at welltoldconference.com. And we
use
hope
that code podcast.
Use the code podcast. And Storymakers, we sure hope we see you there.
Can't wait.
Thanks for tuning into this special WellTold edition of Tell Well the podcast. If you're ready to transform how you share your mission, join us on April 24th in person in Fargo or virtually for WellTold, the Nonprofit Storytelling Conference, where powerful missions meet masterful storytelling. If you're interested, make sure to use code PODCAST at welltoldconference.com to unlock early bird pricing. Whether you're a nonprofit leader, communicator, or mission-driven entrepreneur, this intimate hands-on experience will help your impact become impossible to ignore. Interested in sponsoring? Visit the website to see how you can support organizations working to grow and do the most good in our community. If you enjoyed this podcast, you'll love the in-person experience and the rest of the episodes in this special series where we're talking to all of the speakers and sponsors making this incredible experience a reality. When good work is well told, change becomes unstoppable, and we invite you to join us at WellTold, the Nonprofit Storytelling Conference in Fargo, April 24th.